first and foremost, thank you so much for having me for today. And of course, yeah, unfortunately, right now when I'm sharing the screen, I cannot see what is going on in the chat. So if you have any questions, yeah, share them in the chat, and then hopefully we can take them in the Q&A session. I will make sure that we have enough time for that as well. So I hope that after this presentation, you will become video ready. And actually, of course, we'll talk about the role of video marketing in B2B. So shortly about what I'm going to talk about, I will actually talk about the current state of video. Actually, here I can already tease a bit that we have a huge challenge when it comes to the current state. And one of the things that I will go through is how can you find your baseline? And of course, how can you find your baseline working with HubSpot? And that is actually the current three topics that I will go through for this agenda. So hopefully keep it short, and then we have a lot of time for Q&A because I know there is a lot of questions about videos in general. So have all of your questions ready, and I will do whatever I can to make sure that I answer as many questions as possible. So if we look at the current stage of the video, we actually have a challenge. And the challenge is actually between all the businesses and then the customers, because actually we have a lot of customers who are yelling for more videos. Actually, surveys, data, you have all seen it a lot. Just to highlight a few, actually shows that all the customers want to watch videos and all the leads and prospects the same. So people actually would like to see even more videos from brands. 85% of people actually are demanding this. Also meaning that people on average watch 18 hours online video per week. So a lot of people use a lot of time watching videos. And then finally, you can actually convince a lot of people to buy your product or service by actually showing and making videos, brands videos for them, because that's actually a huge part of the whole research phase. Also, 50% of the research that has been done is being done by millennials like myself, and you already know how much we love videos. Also showing that, especially within B2B, a lot of us are actually craving for videos and want to see more and more, like you see on this GIF. The issue we have and the gap that we have is that unfortunately a lot of marketeers within the B2B sector actually don't have the right skills or actually don't know what to do. And one of the first things I think it's super important is by making sure that you can measure your video impact and thereby show the ROI on the investments. Which means that also what we see a lot is that it's really difficult to allocate and get more staff and resources because we actually can improve and show the outcome or results that video are generating. And that will be the highlight of today. I hope so when you are done, actually that you actually know how to do it. I'm gonna tell you, it's actually something you already can do today within HubSpot. And I will that was a short teaser. I will show you a bit later how it can be done. But as we see, data is not only a challenge when we talk about video. It's a topic which we see in the marketing department in general, because we can see that almost 80% actually believe that data-driven marketing is the right, but 70% of marketeers actually believe that they have poor data or inconsistent customer data, and that is of course a huge challenge when it comes to actually showing the impact on our everyday job. So that's really important that we are considering that. And of course, the big question is, why do we have this disconnection between businesses and customers? And I actually think that the answer is as short as this, that we have the wrong view on videos. Actually, the approach that I see 80% of people are doing is actually they are using what we call the form-driven and practical approach. And what is this? Yes, this approach is about video creation. So you start with a creative brainstorm, then, and the first thing you say is, we need to make a video. Then after, what you do is that you actually are talking about ideas and topics within this video. You do the production, and then finally when it's done, you want to optimize on it. You actually start to think about, oh, we actually need some data. But That's an issue, and I will come back to that later, how we can have and use another approach to make it more strategic in when we work with video. This is an example of someone who have done that. They have, this is just from a quick Google research, and as you can see here, they are not making sure that they have not a plan for how they distribute their videos. So as you can see here, I'm visiting the website, and as also any of you know, this YouTube link will redirect me back to YouTube, meaning that now Valmont in this case has actually lost a potential lead, because now here I will be distracted with all that is in my interest and not in Valmar's interest, meaning that Valmont in this case actually won't get any useful data. They can only see that 50 people have watched this video, but they actually don't know that it's Casper Peterson who have watched this, which potentially could have been a big miss for them when it comes to making sure that you are having all the right data and that you become data driven in your marketing approach in overall general. So here you are actually starting losing your the whole customer journey, because you don't take ownership of the whole experience by making sure that you are protecting your own media, which is of course something every one of you know when it comes to inbound marketing. And to actually make this quote and use that for a content marketing guru as well, we have to stop building our video branded content house on rented land. Instead, we have to publish it on our own content hub. We need to own the whole experience. And that's also what we are talking about here today. So actually, what I'm going to talk about today is to make sure that we're creating the best baseline, meaning that we have to make sure that all of our video content are secured, and we also get all the content here, and that we are doing it on brand, and we make sure to integrate all of these videos into our key marketing components, which means of course HubSpot in this case. And this is how you can start to own the whole experience and the customer journey, and also where you can start to actually generate leads and convert people by using videos. And this is what I will talk about now. So what is exactly, when you have finding your baseline, what is then going to happen? I will now show you another example of a company called Simplify, who actually are owning the video experience. So actually here, again, I'm doing a Google search, and you can see here, I will actually see an introduction video. I click on that video as well. And then here, now I'm in an environment, and you can see on the domain and everything where Simplify have the full control. They have only related videos, which of course will be on their domain and also within their interest. And they can own the whole experience, because they tell me what kind of videos are related to what you just saw. And you can also start to create different sections to make sure that I can get all the information I need. So that's super important to have in mind as well. And this is where you start actually to take ownership of the experience. And you will hear me say a lot of time the phrase own the experience, just so you are prepared. And actually what you will see is also you will increase the engagement time that people spend on your website when you are doing when you are working with videos, because from our state of video, we actually can see that the average time that people spend on websites or the engagement within the videos, meaning they will actually in average watch 5 minutes video on your own media. Whereas if you are distributing and redirect them to YouTube, Facebook, you can actually see it will increase a lot. 1 minute and 15 seconds on YouTube on average, and then only 6 seconds on Facebook. And it's because there is so many distractions on those medias, meaning that it's so easy for me to find something else. And also meaning that instead of only competing with all your competitors, actually what you are going to do when you are redirecting me to the social media is that you are competing with everyone else out there, all the creative content creators, all the influencers, all the different brands, because you are redirecting me to a platform where you are not owning any of the experience, and where you are actually playing on the field which YouTube and Facebook are actually in front and choosing all the rules instead of you on your own website. So again, what you can do instead is actually do as they do, making sure that all videos redirect to you, and also making sure that every time you invite someone to visit and watch a video, that it's a video that is on brand, so it's designed to your brand. It's you have already all the tools needed, so call to actions, and I will show you later how you have an integrated setup, so you're making sure you can make a lead score and actually start nurturing some of your leads also when they watch all your videos. And then you can also start to say my product videos, if they start watching them, they are a bit more qualified than the ones who only are watching the about us video that all the most of us have. This also starts that also helps you in terms of making post flow. So you can actually start now doing some retargeting because you have even more knowledge. You can also start to make some more conversions within the videos or afterwards, or you can also generate some qualified leads that sales can follow up on as well. And actually what we see here and what I'm talking about here is what I call the strategic approach, where we are starting to become much more goal driven. So as you remember before, here instead we start by saying we need to improve the number of leads that we are generating. That could be just to say something. So we actually are starting talking about objectives instead of talking about making a video. Then the next step is about trying to identify what is the best way actually to improve our objectives. Is it to use video, or is it to do a blog post, or what is the actually right medium? And then after we can start to define the strategy, making sure that, and also how we should do it, and then we can go into the production mode. But first, when we actually have this goal driven approach where we're making sure that we can actually measure everything that is going on here as well. And then actually what you will see is that you can now start also generating leads with videos by taking ownership of the experience, because there is platforms not only like 23 but also like others out there who have these sign up forms, for instance. So if you want to improve your the lead scoring, or actually want to get more leads, then what you can do is you can do as Universal Robots did. They put these lead collectors and lead forms and put them in front of all the videos. And what they saw was actually within the first month that 50% of all contacts generated came directly from these collectors. And then what happened is that they sign up and then they can watch the videos. You can choose to have them in the beginning, in the middle, or by the end. It's totally up to you. It depends on how you want your customer journey to be. And then, of course, you can also start to get even more call to actions within the video. So here, this is Folion who are using the sign up here for some of the webinars, so a promotion for webinars they have done. And then you can actually have this call to action where they will be redirected to the sign up page. You can also have, like, if I was working for a shirt company and I wanted to make advertising for this, then I could also within the video have a call to action button where you can add this shirt directly to the basket. It's up to you again what kind of call to actions you would like, and this is also how you start to use videos and start to make sure that it's the right touch points, and also that you are taking ownership of this as well. As you can see here, they also have a lot of related videos, and you can choose if you want to have the most viewed, it should be tagged or different tags, or it should be categories, or whatever you would like to. It's up to you. You are the ones in charge, and you are the ones who knows your customers best. And then, of course, also why we need to do it is, of course, if we are not having these strategic and tactical obsession with marketing without deeply thinking about content first and measurement soon after, we will just flush money down you know what, you know where, and this is also why good marketing is not free. It's actually something you need to invest in. You need to allocate time and resources and money as well. Otherwise, you will just be playing on third-party rules instead of actually making your own rules yourself. And actually, what we see here is that a lot of companies, unfortunately, don't have the video data integrated into their key marketing stack, aka their marketing automation system or their CM systems. And this is also why, after this talk, you can actually be some of the companies who are in front when it comes to video and also on optimizing all your videos that you are already doing. So now I think it's time to actually hear how many of you have heard about the HubSpot Media Bridge that we have done and what we actually is already available in HubSpot as well. Otherwise, I will tell you some notes about that. But I will just I know that tomorrow will start with that. So I will just wait a few seconds until I can see some answers, and then I will go through it afterwards. So I'm a bit curious to see, of course, what you will answer in terms of this, if you have ever heard about it before. But let me know, just write a yes or no. And then hopefully some of you will learn something. I can see we have a lot of no's, also meaning that we might not have been done the best advertising and promotion as well. But then it's good that you have the chance to see it now. So I can see actually it's only no's. So I will then I think it will be valuable just to that I will start sharing my screen again and actually go through some of it. So now we should be here. So what have we done? So actually what we have done is that we have made some major things which you can set up if you are using HubSpot today. You can actually go in and connect all videos to HubSpot, meaning that you just do, as you can see here, making sure that everything will be turned on in the HubSpot Media Bridge, and then they will bring all the videos into HubSpot. And it will be done automatically, which also gives us the huge opportunity that now it's so much easier actually to add videos directly to our websites and landing pages as well. We can easily embed our entire video library from HubSpot if we want to, or we can also easily use all the different components that I just showed you, call to actions, conversions, etc. We can also easily make sure that we integrate our videos into our email marketing, which actually will increase your click rates with up to 62%. And also make sure that we are using videos in our emails as well, which we actually see some good results on, and also which also will help you in terms of getting more viewers on your videos as well. Of course, you will get all the best features as well, so you can easily and also just to highlight, we are not the only one who have done this. There are also other ones who have updated their integration as well. And just to say that the new HubSpot Media Bridge in general is something that free integration partners have been offered to be part of as well. Yeah. So you can also go in here and make sure that you have all of these collectors to make sure that you can have conversions or different actions in for the call to actions as well. And of course, all of this will help you also in the backend to make sure that you in your filters also can go through in contact activities. Actually, you can see the media plays, meaning that you can see the percentages that a individual have watched for different videos, and then you can of course use this as well to make sure that you have the most accurate engagement data as possible. And this of course is also how we are using the tracking cookies from HubSpot as well. This of course will also help you in terms of use the video engagement score to make sure that you actually are using your revenue attribution as well, and also so you easily can understand how your marketing and sales activities are creating, of course, revenue for your business at the end. So actually now both in the playback, but also in your engagement data, you will have multi-touch attributions that you simply can turn on, as you can see here in your attribution as well. And then you can of course build custom HubSpot reports as well, which of course will help you in terms of making sure that that you have all the right data, but also to make sure that you can actually start having NPS scores or lead conversions, or just to make sure that you have like the broad overview of the whole HubSpot, and how, of course, engaged your audience are when it comes to videos as well. And then one of the things we are looking at is, of course, how can we trigger custom workflows when a video has been played? And that is also, of course, some of the more complex automations that we are working on as we speak. So actually, at the end of my speak, I hope at least you have got some ideas on how you can build the baseline and how easy it actually is for you because of this HubSpot Media Bridge. So actually, and also if you are helping any clients, you can of course also go out and talk with clients about this to make sure that they are in sync and they are on the first step when it comes to what we call the video maturity model. So this is actually, now we have gone through what we call the baseline, and now the next step will then be how can we take them to make sure and identify the best practice and top performing content to make sure that we can drive even higher conversation rates. And then after, how can we scale this? And fourthly, how can we video enable the whole organization? But first, we have to make sure that we have the core baseline, that everything is suited into HubSpot, and that we take ownership of the full experience. That was it from me. I hope that we now have some time for the questions. You are more than welcome to ask if there is anything you are curious about. Now you just learned something new about HubSpot Media Bridge, so that could also be something you could be curious about as well. So answer and just fire as many questions as possible.
Very much for that, Casper. I've just asked everybody if you have any questions, if you can put it in the Q&A section, because it just makes it easier to answer.
Casper, maybe I could jump in. There was one that I've replied to on chat, but probably comes better from you. Media Bridge is a HubSpot API, is that right? And then you've remastered your product to support all that? Because we've been using TwentyThree for many years, but we've been using it before Media Bridge came along.
Exactly. So the HubSpot Media Bridge is something that HubSpot have they have asked three. So I can be very transparent. They have asked Whitehat, TwentyThree, and also Vistia to be part of this. And this is how the Media Bridge looks from the TwentyThree perspective. Of course, I don't know how it looks from the others, but just to be very open and honest about that, that's how. So we were the one who were choosing for this because all of us are already integration partners, and that's so it's just how it works with the HubSpot Media Bridge, and this is also, of course, back to their API, where, of course, it's as you said, they are the owners, and that's why all of the videos from our library will then be connected to the specific HubSpot account that set this Media Bridge on.
Maybe I can ask another question in case any other ones come through. One of the sort of pushbacks I often get working with clients is, and this might be different depending on whether we're talking about sales use of video or marketing's use of video, but there's always a pushback on quality. They say, look, we'd love to do more videos, it would be great, but we're going to have to bring in a production team, it's going to cost us a lot of money, there's a massive amount of work involved in the production.
Yeah.
Have you seen, based on the statistics, on the data, where the quality of the video is impacting conversion rates and ROI?
It depends on the purpose of the video. So also, as you said, and if you are sending like a one-to-one video, so it could be like, after this call, I just wanted to send Tamara a video, then where I say thank you for the opportunity, then I actually believe that it's better that it's not like a huge setup, meaning that the high-end quality, and also like the cost will also be too high, but more in general, I think that then actually some of the authenticity will actually be lost in that. and the more and actually also like the more personal connection will be lost by that, because then I would have thought too much about it. But I think also what we see is that, of course, when you are doing all the one-to-many, so if you have a about us video, then of course, and especially now when more and more are starting to go into video, I think it really depends on the maturity also of the businesses and where you also see yourself like in communication. So that's a whole strategy session in terms of what level, because I also think you can make really good low cost videos, and then it's easy for you to scale, and then you can always optimize on it. But I think too many spend too much time on quality, meaning that because this is maybe the first of or maybe the fifth video that they might be doing, they spend too much money on making one good video instead of thinking about what if we, for the same budget, made 5 or 10 different videos, and then start to actually get data on this to see if how the reaction will be. I'm pretty sure that you will see better results by actually do that compared to do one major video, because then you also are betting on virality, and no one can predict if your video is going to be viral or not. That's up to everyone else. Of course, you can have a good idea, but also know a lot of companies who thought that they had the best idea, spending a lot of money on one video, and then at the end they didn't go viral, meaning that also they could have done 10, I would say, middle videos as well, which will be good. And also every one of us have a iPhone as well, so, and I think the quality of an iPhone is pretty good.
Yeah, just some feedback on that, and again talking to HubSpot and their own experience on that. If you look at how they run social media campaigns and how they use video in that, often the not lower quality but more personal type of video where it looks like it's more casual, can be much more effective than a staged message. I think the trick is to make sure that your brand message and the value that you're providing is clear.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go over the top in terms of production.
No, I also think it's more something that you like. It's more like something you can do when you have experimented a lot with it. Or I've seen some experiments where they have seen, okay, how big of a difference is it actually if you are using this compared if you are paying for a production agency to come out and help you. And actually the quality is, because we can record in such a high quality now, it's not that big, but of course it can help a bit. But I would say that for many of us, if we are just want to get started, then use your iPhone and then get to know and also be comfortable in front of the camera, because that's also where I think a lot of people are right now, that they are not comfortable. Of course, it had helped now COVID, that every one of us has been on these calls, virtual calls. But 2 years ago, like what we saw was that no one felt comfortable in front of the camera, and now we see that more and more have done it, and that's also why a lot of young people have they are more skilled when it comes to that, because this is what they grow up with. And if you go on TikTok and stuff like that, there are so many good creators out there. So if you need someone, you can just find those who, and they are like students, so they can also be very 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 cheap. So I've watched so many good TikTok videos with young talents who knows how to do videos as well. So that can also be something to do as well, trying to look for those talents.
Yeah, and one thing I suppose I would one piece of advice, and I'd like to have your twist on this, is if you're going to spend money on equipment, probably, I mean, my order priority would be sound first, strangely enough, lighting second, and then camera third.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting.
I agree. I also think I think actually audio and light is equal, because also now I'm lucky that I'm sitting just next to the window, right? But if I had turned me just a little bit left, then it will be almost dark, and then it would look like I was in a horror movie, right? So it's really about like to make sure, and of course you can also with light, which if you are recording it with a nice window, then you can get it for free for all natural. But here in Denmark, it's dark 80% of the time, so I would not. So here in Denmark, I would have spent a lot of money on lighting, but you can also get that super easily and also very cheap on Amazon. I can also see someone, Simon has already been so polite, actually sharing some good stuff as well. And so I think for like €100, you can really be up for a good lighting and stuff like that, and also like a mic as well. So I would say for £100 as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Will be up and running.
There's a couple of questions in chat. Not sure if there's any in Q&A. If I can take the first one from chat, maybe Tamara, you can take the next one. Beginner-friendly solutions, what would you recommend for the creation of videos that then integrate into HubSpot's Media Bridge?
Actually, if you are going to record or create videos, and you are using Mac or whatever, I just use iMovie for the beginning. So that's more for the creation part. And then when you have to distribute something, then I would recommend you to use anything else than YouTube, because that's as I said, it do what every one of us actually should do, and they have been super smart. They are giving away embed videos and then redirect everyone to their own website, right? And this is exactly what every marketeer should do themselves. And so actually we can learn a lot from YouTube, but I will never recommend anyone to use that, especially if you're serious about your B2B and want to as I have said many times, own the experience and also want to convert leads. Because here, the only thing YouTube is doing is making sure that everyone is go directly back to YouTube, and also they actually put cookies on your website as well, because they are of course getting to know people even more. So when I watched and shared the embed codes for Valmet as well, I actually gave YouTube a lot of information of what type of videos I like. So that's of course also something which could be more nice as a marketeer to have ourselves. And so that's why you should not take anything for free. You should pay for it, because then it also shows that it's another business model. They make business by making ads, and the rest of us, which is also a huge distribution and market as well, we make money by actually generate data and help our clients to have the best experience by the end.
Yeah, and then that actually answers the next question, which says, can I secure my branded videos on my site? Well, obviously you can't do that if you're using YouTube. That's the one thing that you just exactly said, but you can. That's the point of the 23 system, is effectively you retain control, right?
Yes, agree. So that's the whole purpose of. So if you search for, also if you want to look for other solutions than ours, like I'm very transparent about that. You can, and especially with Hotspot, as I said, Vidyard, Wistia, and 23 are the ones that integrates directly into the HubSpot as well. And then it's up to you to see. We have different integrations, but and I don't know how they have updated it now when it comes to the HubSpot Media Bridge. But I will totally look for those three if I was anyone out there.
There was a question on formats. Are there particular formats that you support or prefer in terms of video?
We support the most of the formats, so also 360, but not VR videos. But beside from that, like if formats meaning by 4K, etc., then yes. And if it's more like these more different type of videos, then VR is not not a video format that we do. But also when it comes to MP4 files and stuff like that, then yeah, I would also say that the most common one are all available also within HubSpot Media.
And just going back to a previous question in terms of software, you mentioned the Mac. On like Windows PCs, we use Camtasia quite often. That's a nice, easy to use system. Obviously, a more professional one is the Adobe video editor, Premiere Pro, but
Yeah.
that's hard work. I wouldn't recommend that for.
No, I've also been using Camtasia before, and it's actually also like pretty good. I think it's a one fee, or have they changed to a subscription model? I think it's a one fee that you pay, as far as I remember.
I think you pay, and then there's a maintenance if you want, which you get updates.
Yeah.
But you can do a one-off fee.
Yeah.
Question on video length, which I think is one of those, well, it depends sort of answers.
Yeah.
What is a recommended video length versus attention span?
Actually, what we have seen is that a lot of people, and I can also send you. We send some resources after. I can actually share from one of our state of videos where we actually have like two different like, what can you say, takeaways from this. So we have actually seen that a lot of people, I don't know why, but they thought that the length of videos is only like, it should only be 30 seconds or something. So we have seen a lot of people creating only those type of videos. But what we see is actually the ones who get the most engagement are the ones who are plus 5 minutes. So this also shows that if you have like a lot of videos, and also that you are, of course, creating value. So the ideal is, of course, not to shoot short term, but it's to, of course, not to just choose and shoot along just for the purpose. Just because Casper said 5 minutes is perfect, then we will only do 5-minute videos, and we only have like the script for 2 minutes, and then for 3 minutes I will just try to talk about anything else, the weather or whatever. Then of course you will lose. But if you really have a script for 5 minutes and really can entertain people for 5 minutes, the attention span is up for that as well. So it's not because it's at the end, it's about how long can you maintain people's focus, and that's really up to how good you are in front of this camera.
And I think also it's exactly that. It's what value are you providing? Right. So we've done a lot of very long videos, essentially recordings of hug events like this, where we've gone into a topic in our deep dive, and those might be 30-minute videos, and we use the 23 system. We'll put it in forms at the end of that so people can actually ask for more information, and we get a drip feed of leads from those videos, which are 2-3 years old now.
Yeah.
So people do watch them, and the stats are showing that they're actually watching them all the way through. So I wouldn't discount the longer form video as long as it's adding value.
Exactly. And also, as you just said, like a lot of us are doing videos where if the length is hours, when every single time we are on as you say here, on a webinar or these hug events, or also when we are in meetings, we are watching videos for more than 10 minutes or 50 minutes, or also like hours, right? And I also know some of the videos are very boring, but at the end, it's all about how long can you entertain people.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I think there's another one that says, when would you decide to add subtitles to a video rather than not have subtitles?
I would recommend like to add subtitles to all of your videos, also because a lot of especially on social medias, then a lot of us, also including myself, are scrolling with no sound. And actually, what is super smart about also like social medias, but also our players, is that if you then turn sound on, then if it's only soft coded, then your subtitles will just be removed. So actually, that's also why. So adding videos or adding subtitles to a video is just a cool add-on. And then if people are watching it without, or they can also choose just to see it without. So I will actually say you should add it to all videos, and then it's up to people to say if they would like to see it or not. Also, actually, now I'm saying something which might be stupid, but what I normally do when I have to add subtitles is that I upload my video privately to YouTube, because they help me transcript all my subtitles automatically, and then I download the SRT file and then add it. So actually, I am not doing any of my subtitles myself. I getting help from the nice machine called Google, and then I've done my work, and then I only have maybe to edit, because of course there is a bit. Also, you can hear I'm not native speaking, so there could be some words which will sound a bit weird for the machine, or that it had heard something else. But I would say every single time I make a video which is 2 minutes, I save at least an hour of doing subtitles.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm also a bit a bit slow to do subtitles. I'm not sure, but I save an hour by doing that.
There's an interesting twist on that. So
I mean, if it's there, you might be working smarter, not harder, right?
Absolutely.
But also referring to the social media, somebody's mentioned when it comes to video resolution ratio, I see most people are using 1:1 ratio for social media video. Do you know if there's any difference in performance when it comes to 1:1 versus 16:9 video?
Yeah, it depends on the reason why they do it is because it depends on the devices. So the 1:1 are better if a lot of your like visitors or also on social medias are scrolling on their phone, because then you will the 1:1 will have, like, you will take ownership of almost the full screen, whereas when it's wide you will only take part of just a small amount like this. So that's actually why they are doing the 1:1 ratio for social media videos, and that's also what I will recommend, because a lot of us are using our smartphone when we are scrolling on social medias. But when it comes to, or at least what we see across our clients, which is plus 500, is that, and we are serving more than 1 billion videos yearly, we can see that most of them who visit the website where they have embedded our videos is with the desktop, also meaning that 16:9 will be the ideal for many of the videos that is on your website. But of course, you can also watch it. You can also see the different devices that will visit your website with Google Analytics and stuff like that. So that will be my best answer for that.
Okay. So to base it on whatever your customer is using and how they're viewing it, etc. Okay, brilliant. I don't think there are any other.
One quick one, because this is something close to my heart. There was a comment there about search engine optimization and whether the subtitles are picked up by the search engines. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it is, and also and that's also a big big thing you also need to of course consider as well. And also one of the things you also need to do now when we are talking about, I know Claude also had some good points about this as well, is also to make sure that you make all the right media descriptions as well, because again, that will also help in terms of search. And that's also why. So also important to say that Google still are not available, are not or can't actually see what is going on. They can only read your videos. So that's why all text related stuff you can do around your videos, like media description, transcription, subtitles, anything, is how Google can read what is going on in your video. So that's how they are trying to actually rank your videos as well. If you have to give them as much information as possible, and the only way you can give them information is by text.
I think it's actually quite a deep subject. There's a lot being said on search engine optimizations generally. Very little valuable information has been put out there on video-based search. So we're actually going to be running a Hug event at some point in the future focused on video SEO. And we'll almost certainly get 23 involved in that, because, you know, we've been working together on that particular thing. I think we're coming to the end of the presentation, the time now. So any other questions? I think we'll follow up later. We'll put out an email with the recording. I'll hand it back to Tamara.
Thank you. Well, as I said, it has been great, and somebody's just mentioned they got to go, but I'm going to send you the recording, and it has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Casper. I have put something up, like, please do not forget, we do have another Hug this Thursday. Yes, double whammy this September, and it is celebrating our new global SEO Hug. So please, 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 can you remember to sign up and tell everybody? But this has been fantastic, and like we've had conversations before, it's not about being scared of doing video. It is the way forward. And also you can, for me, you can draw so much content from video. It's just, it's brilliant. But so Fluid, we're going to be doing more videos, right?
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. And thank you everybody for coming.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.